thanks for staying with us, Amanda. Now, human resources is Indonesia's one of, not just Indonesia, but any nation's most valuable capital.
Yes.
And more than half of our population is under 30 years old. And so what do you think Indonesia's challenges are in terms of trying to really leverage from that richness of human capital here in the country?
To begin with, we have more than 250 million people in Indonesia, and that is already such strength that our country possesses. But then at the same time, with the changes that is rapidly happening within our world, I feel that we are preparing these children, these students, for jobs that might not exist yet, that we might not know what skills are needed. So I guess let's just go back to basics and let's go back to common sense, which is instilling values and instilling strong moral bearings in these students. For instance, again, the values, the respect that they need, the kindness, the generosity, but also self-efficacy, knowing that they can do something, that they are capable of doing something with their lives. So it's I mean, situation might be bad, but then it's never hopeless, and you can still do something about it. So that mentality and that mindset is probably something that all teachers can help transfer in classrooms. And another one is the love for learning. I feel that that is crucial as we go along in life, and our education system right now has not so much focus into that, because the way we deliver lessons, for instance, is not attractive. It's another boring day of reading the textbook, of underlining what the teacher tells us to underline. But when we make it experiential, for instance, when we make it more applicable, when we make it closer to these children's realities, then we could delight in the learning experience, and that social capital, I guess it's something that they can bring along as they grow up. So preparing them with these fundamental core values or core perspectives is probably what we can do, because the world keeps changing.
Now, would you say, when you mentioned the values, the number of values that you think should be instilled among young generation, going back to basic, would you say risk-taking is also one of the values that our young generation should learn, knowing that we don't know what's out there, what kind of job that is available, but with enough self-confidence, and they know that there's nothing in the world that they cannot learn, then they would want to jump ship or take that leap of faith and try something else. Do you think risk-taking is also something that we should instill?
Risk-taking is an expansion of the self-efficacy segment that I talked about before. That you take that risk because you know that you can do it. That with the intellectual capacity that you have, with the social support that you have from your family or from parents or from, probably if it's non-existent, that you can still do it, then that is the start of them start taking risk, start going outside their comfort zone, and start doing crazy things, good things.
Think outside the box, or do something that's outside the box.
Yes, yeah. And another part of it is also creativity, because I think what is impressive about Indonesia is its entrepreneurial nature or instinct, because
we're never short of that.
We're never short of that, and we have so many hindrances that we are pushed continually to think outside the box, and without realizing we are creative, but then when it's guided towards some kind of direction or some kind of public good, then it could benefit us more as a nation.
Okay, quickly, one last question on this segment. We mentioned earlier about pushing more experiential learning rather than theoretical. Is this something that, I know the conversation has been going a long time about how we need to change the curriculum, the method of teaching or learning in our education system. Is this also something, would you think it's a cause that you would also take on in trying to push for a more practical or experiential learning method here in the country?
For sure, eventually, yeah. And with the curriculum, it's not just the method, but also the content. Yeah, the method is one thing where we want to make it more fun, we want to make it more attractive for these children, and teachers need to be creative, school leaders need to be supportive of these crazy ideas, these creativities that teachers might want to execute in classrooms. But at the same time, the content is also something that we need to look into. For instance, the English language. We start at the age of probably 9 or 10, start learning English in the formal school setting. And we live in the world where when we go to Google, when we go to search engine, everything is in English. When you do not possess the language, you already limit the knowledge that you have access to. So that's one. Also, the diverse knowledge that is needed in different parts of the country is also another thing. Like for instance, when you live in a plantation area, you need to know how a plant is growing.
You need to understand the environment that you
what's
live
happening,
in.
what is needed, what are the physical requirements, things like that that might not be required in the urban city. So those knowledge, it could be better.
It could also be helpful. All right, we'll go to our last segment right after this short break.